There's one more word that is worthy of mention, and that is the word imagine. And when you use the word imagine, right, whether it's me telling you or at least sharing with you an idea, or when you're trying to build consensus inside of your organization, you can use the words imagine if. And the minute you use the words imagine, you're gearing up people's minds for a possibility and for hope, especially when conditions are really hard. And so we looked at a couple of key points and we said, you know, if I took this word guide and I say imagine, imagine if we had a group of executives who kind of stayed together and guided the function of product management. Now, how many firms actually do this really, really well? So we did a couple of studies over the last couple of years with about 149 executives who responded both to surveys and to interviews. And you can look at these numbers here, and it's about 20% on average of companies have some kind of governing body or guiding body of executives, and where people think they're doing a really good job. All right, well, imagine if we were able to raise the bar. So what does it look like when you're raising the bar? Well, companies that raise the bar have a person who plays the role of Chief Product Officer. So by a show of hands, how many people in this room have a role in their company where there's somebody, whether you call it a CPO or somebody like that, who leads the function of product management and sits at the executive table? How many people in companies have that? So maybe 20% of firms have that. Now, if I ask that question, how many people are doing a really good job of it, all right, would the number of hands be as high? I'm not going to ask, okay? We don't want to know too much. Well, maybe we do. Anyway, we know that these are works in progress. However, when we see the signals, and you see that there's a benchmark that says, you know, when we're doing this stuff pretty good, we get better results, all right? When we're dealing with a way to evaluate and manage processes and procedures, when we're dealing with ways to cultivate and progress product managers through the system, it's pretty darn good.